Welcome along, fellow time travelers. This is Scott Cardinal. Today's micro lesson is a quick overview of the south side of the mansion at Friar Park. As you may know, I've written a few books about Friar Park, and I even created a Friar Park fan club on Facebook. The following information is adapted from an audio documentary that I wrote and produced about Friar Park, and it's available at my site, audibleadventures.com. You could also download the app and get to Audible Adventures that way. So, if you listen to this and you listen to that and you hear some of the same information, just chill out. It's okay. I'm just borrowing from myself. Remember, these are just some cool facts that are provided to try to help satisfy your insatiable curiosity, but they can also be used to impress friends and strangers who might find stuff like this fascinating. Are you ready? Hang on tight, because we're going to go really fast. Off we go. The mansion that Frank Chris built at Friar Park is really beautiful. It's located at the end of a quarter-mile-long driveway that begins all the way at the south entry of the property. It is there where there's a lower lodge and entry gates. You know you've seen the pictures. This is a very big house. It seems incredible that it was built for only one family to live there. But back in those days, people were just kind of overflowing with children, which means lots of nieces and nephews and aunts and uncles and brothers and sisters and even friends coming over and sticking around for a while because people didn't see each other as easily as they do today. In the UK, they call this an English country house. They even use the word pile, which is kind of a creepy term. In fact, here's a definition I found online. You can refer to a large impressive building as a pile, especially when it is the home of a rich, important person. And in the case of Friar Park, it most certainly was. I mean, Frank Crisp was a rich, important person. Anyway, Americans, we just call it a mansion. Now, some people have mistakenly called it a castle, which makes absolutely no sense at all. In fact, here's a definition I found of what a castle is. You ready? Check this out. A castle is a large building, typically of the medieval period, fortified against attack with thick walls, battlements, towers, and in many cases, a moat. So, anyone who wants to call it a castle probably shouldn't. It's simply an enormous house, an enormous mansion. It is several stories in height. The south facade is nearly 130 feet across. There are steeply pitched towers and turrets. There are even some pyramidal-shaped roofs. In fact, the entire roof has rectangular tiles on multiple and asymmetrical cross gables. And because it was built in the days before central heating, there are, of course, quite a number of tall and thin chimney stacks. But even the chimneys are beautiful. They are made of red-colored cut bricks and light stone that have been arranged in ornate patterns. Looking at the top of them, you can see that they are capped with terracotta pots. And, of course, there are several Gothic-style tracery windows with elaborately carved, geometrically shaped stone moldings. The walls of the house aren't just structural, by the way. They are also very decorative. An example of this is when you look to the right of the entryway. It is there where Frank Crisp had placed an enormous vertical sundial. Yeah, you heard that correctly. The sundial is actually built into the facade. Now, that's not the sort of thing one sees every day. Chances are you don't have a sundial protruding from the facade of your house. And if you do, please contact me. I might need to borrow some of your time. There is a Latin motto with it that translates to, "Shadows we are, and like shadows we depart." On the far right side of the south facade is a wide, polygonal-shaped bay with multiple windows. It kind of looks like a tower. in that it leads up to a stone balcony and then a pyramidal roof and a finial. By the way, it is also along the south facade, near the entryway, where one can see the sculpture of a friar holding a frying pan with holes in it, with the caption being, say it with me, "Two Holy Friars." Yeah, as we know, Frank Crisp had a rather unusual sense of humor. And I'm going to talk a lot about that in future micro lessons, but not now. The mansion extends far to the west of the entryway also, but there's way too much to describe about that here since I'm really trying to keep this one short. And so this concludes this micro lesson about the south side of the mansion at Friar Park. Remember, if you want to learn a lot more about Friar Park, check out those audio tours and that audio documentary at my site, audibleadventures.com. I look forward to gathering together with you and others next time around the campfire. Until then, please be kind to gnomes and do not eat any non-human animals anytime or anywhere. The world will be a better place if we were all kinder to non-human animals and each other. Fare thee well, everybody. Fare thee well.